everyone, Dr. Munn here. Hope you all doing well. Well, welcome back. This is a great week. It's about the internet and the web. So it kind of takes everything that we have worked up to for the past couple of weeks to this one piece where we combine all the pieces together to create the internet and to the web section. So right here, this is a wonderful, wonderful video. What is it? Okay, please make sure that you click on it to watch it. Okay, it goes to a YouTube video, and please make sure that you do watch it. It is great. It says, what is the internet? Okay, the next thing then we move on to is a little discussion of the Internet of Things. Okay, the IoT. Now what I've done is I kind of put my own little spin on this. I divided up the words. I defined internet, and then I defined thing, and then I put all that information into kind of my own little definition of the Internet of Things. So internet is a product or service that used through or with the www. A thing is an object, plain object. So what it is IoT is a sensor of network of billions of smart devices that are connect people, systems, and applications to collect and share data. Okay, so you have your device, iPad, iPhone, whatever. You have an object, and then you have the internet on the phone, which goes right to your device or your object that you want to control. Okay, and that object will send data back to your phone or iPad, and then that will allow the data to be collected and analyzed, and then if we need to make changes, send that through the World Wide Web or the internet back to the object, and it performs the operation. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, that's the IoT. So let's move down to the next slide. All right, and like I said, it is physical devices, everyday objects connected to the internet or connected together to perform and to be controlled remotely. It does make things a lot easier, life smarter, saves money, a lot of money. Businesses are more efficient. You are more efficient as a consumer. Is it good for the environment? It creates ideas, and it does collect real data. Okay, so there you go. And just a little, this is kind of a little Wordle thing about it. Internet of Things, connectivity is really big. Electronics, Wi-Fi, IoT, hardware devices, business, all that information. Just a small little story. I have created a class called Intro to Apps, and what I have my students do is research a real world problem and come up with some type of application or app to help solve or alleviate whatever it is that they are trying to solve. So for instance, the one I give them mine is called Rainmaker. And what it is my mobile device is connected to my sprinklers that are all in my yards and everything that control the water distribution. Okay, so my lawn doesn't burn up, my plants don't, sag. But then there's that problem, if it rains a lot, we don't want the water on for my sprinkler system along with the rain. So that means that my app has to know of certain couple things: the moisture, the soil, the weather, the temperature, if it's going to rain or if it's not going to rain. So there you have that connectivity and that data collection that sends it back to my mobile device, which in turn tells or programs something to do with the sprinkler. So that is what an IoT kind of piece looks like. So then we get into the web. And what is it? Great video. Please watch it. And then it is, and this is kind of a summary of it, it's a universe of networks, accessible information, body of software, collection of web pages on an HTTP protocol, and a user retrieves information with hyperlinks. So here's a comparison, and I kind of and I did it at Internet, which is a global network of networks, infrastructure, and I related to a giant bookstore. Maybe a Barnes and Noble. Are they still in business? All right, a giant bookstore. Okay, and the World Wide Web is the collection via the internet. So the collection of books in a bookstore. So if you look at that, okay, you have collection of books in a big bookstore. World Wide Web with the internet. So that's how, you know, it kind of falls into play in a real life scenario, kind of looking at it. So what's a website? Oh, I don't know. It's a collection of web pages with a common domain name. So for instance, Facebook or Google or something, but all those have individual pages all set on a home base. Okay. And then we get into the language. What is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript? Please watch this video. Oh my goodness. And there's a Lego kind of atmosphere. You know, I'm a Lego person. So please watch it. It really does go into what the three components are. Basically, HTML is hypertext markup language. It's an authoring language that creates documents on the World Wide Web. It structures it, it layouts, it makes it look formidable, and it uses tags and attributes to define the text. And so please watch that video. This is what I mean by tags. Oops, let's go down a little bit further. It's a structure, and if you're looking at the right-hand side, it's a structure of little carrots that has a detail in it, okay? And then in that detail, it tells it what it is. And then within there is your text. So you have your beginning HTML, you have your text, and you have your ending. So that's when it starts, middle, and stops. So right here, this little line that goes a little slash, that means stop. That indicates this is the end. You're not going any further of that line of code. And here are some examples of different types of attributes or tags. Bold, italic. Here's your opening tag. Okay, you see you have a B for bold, and here's your closing tag. And right here you have that little slash. And in the middle will be your text. All right. And then it goes into CSS, which is cascading sheet styles. That's down a little bit further. There it is. Okay, and this is this describes how it's going to be displayed. This is your artist, okay? And it controls the layouts of multiple pages. Then you have your JavaScript, okay? And your JavaScript is the language that's interpreted by the web browser to create control the multimedia, the animation of it. So you need to have all three of them. And this shows you what the difference is. Okay, HTML creates the structure, CSS stylizes the website, and JavaScript increases the interactivity. So we have some web authoring software. And now we're going to get into a little bit about what you're going to be working on. You will be creating a website, like I stated in that little sneak preview. We're going to be using Wix, okay, and that is an authoring software tool to create websites. It is free unless you go and buy advanced. We're not doing that. We're going to be using our Bergen ID. You're going to create a free website, website. There are other two called Site Builder and Google Sites. Google Sites is not as extensive for free as Wix, so that's why we chose Wix. You can do one if you're really going to be very professional about it. You can use one that costs you a lot of money or costs you money, and they are listed there. But for today, for this project here with Bergen, all we're going to do is going to use Wix. All right. And it's highly recommended that you use either Firefox or Google Chrome. The internet just messes and has different types of styles and you know, reading. So strongly stay away from Internet Explorer. You want Google or Firefox. So there has come into play that, you know, we're using our phones a lot. It is got to consider it's smaller screen, there's less bandwidth, there's touch input, and then there's limited multimedia tasking. The neat thing about Wix and also Google Sites is that it will take your website that you created on your desktop and mark it down so it fits really nicely within that smaller screen. So there are apps, there are little buttons you can click to make sure it goes towards that in Wix. So tips for efficient use of the World Wide Web. Searching. You will be searching for items, and Wix has a whole array of images and pictures that you can use that are already copyrighted, and you can use them without having to put a copyright on there. But if you are searching for something specific, please make sure that you put in a specific name. Okay, like I said, that put an example there. You don't want to put in the word dogs because you're going to get millions of hits. You want to put in the word like just the dog type that you're looking for. Like in there was pit bull, poodle, something like that. All right, then you'll get less hits. To get even lesser hits, you want to put it in quotation marks. And to even get lesser hits, you can use the Google Advanced Search. Great reference to use for searching. Just remember, for copywriting, it is really extremely important that you give credit where credit is due. If you use someone else's image, please give them credit. This is a video to watch. And again, credit both for not only videos, but all for images and charts, etc. Okay, it's really important that you do it, since this will be a website that's going to be published. You don't want to infringe, and actually it's illegal too. So you don't want to do any of that when you're doing something on your website. With all that, there are security issues. Just be wary of them. Again, you got to make sure that you are within the boundaries of your area. Minimize your network risk or theft of data. Just be wary of hackers, identity theft, people that taking someone's personal information to falsely obtain funds or other objectives. Malware, very damaging to your machines. It's damaging computer software such as viruses and spyware. It displays pop-ups, ads to destroy one's data. So a malware is like the umbrella, and within the umbrella, there are different types of malware, such as viruses. It's a computer program that can reproduce itself by attaching to another file. It duplicates whenever a runner or a user runs the infected program. So there has to be a user there. Also within malware, there's something called a worm, which is a self-replicating program. It doesn't have to be attached to another file, and it doesn't require somebody to use it, to click on it. Okay, it just does it automatically. There's also the Trojan. It's malware pretends to be useful program. It's a program executed like a Trojan horse. Malware, again, a couple more. Spyware. It spies on your computer activity without your knowledge, and it tracks your user browsing habits. Adware, software designed to deliver ads, pop-up form, and unwelcome to desktop users. Scareware, in the scam that initiates online warning or pop-up, it convinces your user the computer is being infected with malware or some other program, and you have to purchase or download something software to stop it. Steals your money. Ransomware. I think we all heard of ransomware. Okay, access to one's computer is locked. The access to one's computer is locked or restricted. The hard drive content is encrypted, and payment is demanded to remove the restrictions. A lot of famous ones out there. Something else, there are top issues, security issues, code injection, where hackers exploit your vulnerabilities in applications to insert malicious codes. Data breaches, I think we all understand what those are. Compromised credentials, software misconfiguration, lost hardware, or malware. Malware infection, email scam, goes right into it. Distributed denial of service attack, a group of computers being harnessed together by a hacker to flood the target with traffic. So it's a whole bunch of computers going after actually not going after, but flooding your target, your traffic, your system. And then there's the malicious insiders. Companies sometimes their employees that are disgruntled, they will be malicious and attack it from within. All right. Thanks for watching. Very important vocabulary in here, especially for what's coming down the pike in week number 7. So please make sure that you make note of some of these. Thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and we'll see you online. All right. Bye, guys.